Hey guys, this is Julie. Want to talk about the market today. Had a big sell-off at the end. Here is a profile of the E3DF3 gamma, and that is for the zero options that traded today and zero day options for this contract. And you can see it 39.45, 39.50. It rolled over, and the dealers are gamma short at this point on this side of the curve. We come down to about 3,900 before we run into some support, but there is a standard deviation level at 39.20 sorry, a 25 delta put delta, 25 put delta, and 15 delta is at 3,900, 3,905. And 5 put delta is down here at 38.70 at this support, volatility support. So if we break this volatility support at the 5 and go into the wings, that's where, we would see much higher volatility, and I will have to look at our further charts to get a picture of that, a snapshot. My quick sheet today worked out pretty good. Let me put us back on the 0 DTE that was for today. Everything worked out, pretty fantastic for the sheet. I really enjoyed having this. I'm now able to see the implied volatility 1, 2, 3, and I can see my strike and open interest, high open interest. I was unfortunately going for a high call today, thinking that the market was going to move for this higher call, and it did not. We got pinned, and I actually ended up having to reset the gauntlet. Got caught up in some chop. We'll take a look at that on the chart. Um, so the call was blocked, and we went lower. And then it just started picking up once some levels were crossed. Like I said, once we got through 39.50, instead of turning around and coming back up, it just kept going to the end of the period. And it went to the end of the 2-3. A little bit into the 3 and then came back in. All the way to the end, but I think that, 39.45 triggered it to go short at that point. So there were a lot of blocks put up in the market, trying to block price from breaking too much lower. And there was a weekly level that helped today tremendously. Um, I'll look at that on the chart. Oops, lost my chart. Here we go. So this morning, first thing, the market was rallying up. We got hung up on the daily one, uh, the white line. Um, it really looked from, around 7 o'clock. We caught a bid and ran up a really nice move to the daily one, got that pullback, and this, 1, 2, 3 that was blocked, instead of being able to get that extension and get up to that call, which I thought it would, sitting there. They did sit on it at the daily one, and could not even get above the 1 hour IB high. This 1 hour IB high, the first hour of trading, that first standard deviation, that white line, and the yellows are my different calculations of that first hour of trading, based on the session open and close. And you really can't make a move for the session until you break that level. And here you can see on the lower one, went right to it and just kept going. It was a very controlled sell off. And in fact, this bottom part you could see was on the lower volatility. So a very, low vol bear market. Um, the I have longs up here. This is what I was trying to do this morning, thinking that call sitting up there, that juicy call. There were a lot of calls at 4,000, so that's maybe why it was blocked. And we couldn't get to that top call, but it for whatever, it I failed to adapt that we were going short, and when it did roll over, it was a beautiful move, and I would have really enjoyed being able to participate in this had I not blown my cookies at the beginning. So, and also, not sticking to my trade plan kind of upset me today a little bit. I know I can do better than that. So, we have a trade plan for a reason, and we'll take a look at that in just a second for the gauntlet. Here is my support resistance for my pullbacks. And I don't know if you can see this. Let me make the bar thicker so that you can see what I'm trying to show you. The bar is sized to the 5 minute volatility. I used a second standard deviation of the 5 minute, first 5 minutes of the trade session over the last 14 sessions. And that allows me to, I didn't get the, is this, oh, okay, hang on one second. I've got, there it goes. Let me get this indicator off. There we go. Remove that. There we go. Now you can see it. So these retracements were going right to my support resistance line if it was going to roll over. And so that's always good. Showing I had the correct bar size. Of course, I did get, there was a further deeper retracement. The weekly one was sitting right there, right here. So this got that deeper retracement than the other. And so, but once it rolled over, it went all the way down again, even past the daily threes. Like I said, the dealers are short gamma at that point, and they're just selling. So we'll have to keep our eye on the distribution tomorrow for the, make sure that, we understand if the dealers are, long gamma or short, so we can help position ourselves and have a framework of where I want to trade. Here is a monthly viewpoint. So this is a 30-minute chart with a monthly um, distribution. And you can see we just now broke the monthly one on the open. Here's the monthly one on the close on top. Oh, that's the open, so the bottom one's the close. And in the The fib line right here, right here. So this monthly one right here, the middle is 38.98. So this 3900 is really going to be a strong um, level for me going into tomorrow and Friday. There is that other um, indication that that's a good level from the quick strike platform. I was able to see the 3900 is this right here, the standard deviation, or the 15 delta put, and the volatility level. So there's also some open interest. If I can go back to my pricing sheet and look at the session for the weekly session, that's what this is. Then we can look at 3900 and see about 78.59. So yeah, it's the high option open interest. So that, and it's also by the 1-2, close to the 1-2. So 39 38.95, something like that. So that looks like a really good target to try to get to, if not, lower. Once, the dealers go negative, right? How far are they going to go? The next place would be the 38.70. And that is right here, um, between the value area, value low of the weekly, and I've got a 4 week, I believe. Yep, 4 week one. So this looks like a good area for the second deeper push. The volatility did rise on my daily. I don't know if can see this. We went up from a threshold of 60.50 to 61.75. So the volatility is increasing a little bit, which will help with the wind behind our sails going down. Okay, so we'll keep an eye just trading level to level. I'm going to use my system this time and have a structured methodology for adhering to the gauntlet. Let me bring that up real quick so we can talk about that. So here's the trader's career path. There still is a opportunity to get your gauntlet at a reduced price for the 50,000, and so your profit goal is 3,000. So if you divide that by 15 days, you can see that you could trade $200 per session and pass it for 15 sessions. So that is your target. You are limited to maintain consistency, so they do not want you to go over 30% of your profit target in any one session. They don't want you to have a good, OPEX or something and just ride it all the way down and get lucky one day. They want to see that we can adhere to a standard trade plan so that we can build on that and move forward and move up. So past the 50,000 evaluation, go into a junior live sim or a junior live account, and that would be the difference of staying on a simulated account versus going straight to paying your data fees and signing all the paperwork and going straight into the junior account. And then your next level, so the reason you might want to consider the simulated account would be maybe you don't have the money to pay for all the market data fees, um, for instance, up front. So you would have to pay your data fees up front. You would have the ability to complete the second, level of hitting your profit target. So once you had 2,000 in your account, then you would have the funds to pay for your data and get your account set up. And then you can move into the junior account and start paying for data and go up the ladder. 100, 200 becomes a fixed drawdown, no longer trailing. But there is a daily loss limit and adhere to the progression ladder. Once you get to a certain level of profits, though, be aware that you'll be able to trade your maximum 30 contracts as long as you adhere to your daily drawdown or daily loss limit, and your drawdown limit is fixed. It's no longer trailing. So that's a huge plus. So you can move forward and start earning money in the account and build it up quickly at this point. And that's a fairly, obtainable profit target graduation, something that's, easily obtainable within the amount of contracts that are provided to get there. So adhere to the plan and don't chase calls because they're outside your plan. I mean, um, and don't pass your, I think more so than the wrong call for me today, I could forgive myself for trying to reach for the what usually works. But I didn't recognize that it was, coming right back down on me each time, knocking me out, and I kept trying. So I went past my own personal loss limit for the day, aside from their loss limit that I withdrew went over. So that can be remedied, but definitely, put yourself in a position so you know what the pullbacks might be, where the pullbacks might be going. One, two, three, four, five, six. Really, we're here one, at the top one. One, two. Here's the middle one. Three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11. So the pullbacks really worked with this system. So again, it's just, taking the second standard deviation of the market analyzer. If it's high vol, I would want to use the third standard deviation. So somewhere between the second and third standard deviation. Today it worked out well. If more volatility comes into the market, you have to have a wider range to allow for that extra risk. And then be careful, like I said, you need to be trading this higher volatility in a micro account, especially with these gauntlets, and just one contract at a time. One or two, to make sure that you're on the right path. All right. Thank you so much. We'll talk at you later. Y'all have a great evening.